I'm Clara Grant, and I am one of the owners of 20 Lash.
I'm Henrietta Smaller, and I'm the owner of Stunning Beauty Supply.
I'm Lucienne, and I'm the owner of Revival Training.
My name is Sierra Carter, and I'm the founder of the Zen Bin.
My name is Corey. I'm the owner of Malastrom Bistro, and I am proud to be a Comcast Rise recipient.
Right before the pandemic started, we were kind of taking off. The pandemic brought us to square one again. Comcast Rise is out there to help.
I'm glad that I'm qualified for Comcast Rise.
I think the services that Comcast Rise provided are going to make me a more confident business owner.
It's going to help me grow in a positive way.
Representation is key, the visibility, and then also a network and tools are going to take my business to the next level.
Hey, good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. What a great way to start a live broadcast with that. The energy and the music that was in that video that we just saw. So if you're joining us, thank you for being here for this broadcast. If you're watching us on the replay, you want to stay for the full conversation because we've got some exciting news, and I've got some friends here with me that are going to talk to us a little bit about that information that we have to share. But before we get started, let's go around the room and introduce everybody. So Foti, I'm going to start with you, and then we'll go to Tammie, and we'll go to Kim, if you guys can share a little bit about yourselves.
Excellent. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Tammie and Kim, for being here. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the viewers. I'm Foti Kallergis. I'm the Director of External Communications and Public Relations for Comcast Houston. And if you're tuning in, you may have recognized me from other platforms in the Houston area. I'm a longtime TV journalist, about 15 years in the TV business, and now joining the Comcast team, and I'm really excited.
Awesome. They're glad to have you, I'm sure. Very sure. And I've talked to a few folks that have said just that. So we're glad that you're able to be with us. Tammie, you've been with us before, so it's exciting to have you back. So tell the folks that are watching a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely, and thank you for the invitation to participate again. I always love to talk about the Comcast Rise program. And my name is Tammie Wallace. My pronouns are she, her. I am the co-founder and the president and CEO of the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We are the leading voice for the LGBTQ+ and allied business community in the region.
Wonderful, thank you. And Kim, we're excited to have you for the first time as well. I know you have a great story to share that you'll tell us more about, but please share a little bit about yourself and your business.
Yes, thank you, Juan. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Comcast, which we will talk about today. So good to be on here with Tammie. I am Kim Roxie, Kimroxie, and I am the founder of LAMIK Beauty, and my pronouns are she and her. And I am so excited to be here to talk about, the difference that the Comcast Rise program made in my business. But we actually manufacture our products in Houston. We are a clean, non-toxic makeup line. And my mission in life is to astonish and make us so upset that 75% of beauty products manufactured and marketed to women of color are toxic. And I am here to cure that and to stop that and to bring healthy, good products for us.
Wow. That's amazing, and very glad that you shared that. I think we're going to get into that a little bit. But we've talked about Comcast Rise, I think, a few times, and folks know that anybody who's followed our social media accounts know that we like to talk about Comcast Rise because it's a great opportunity for business owners, small business owners in particular, and BIPOC business owners especially. And so forth. But today we have something new to announce that I think is a little bit different, that I think a lot of folks like him and others are going to be very excited about. So without further ado, I don't want to drag this out. I want you, Foti, to tell us so people can get excited.
Yeah, and you saw the excitement in that video that you played, right? In the very beginning, and the strong and powerful women that are not only empowering themselves, but empowering the communities that they serve and are so passionate about what they do, like Kim. So today we are here to announce that Comcast Rise is expanding its eligibility to all women business owners in the Comcast Houston footprint. So that is such a huge, huge deal. And for those out there that just need to get refreshed with what Comcast Rise is, I just want to, level the playing field here. It's a business support program. And it's such a critical business support program because it offers grants, no cost marketing and technology services to people who have been hit hardest by the pandemic, business owners that have been hit hardest by the pandemic. So this is much needed right now. You heard that one woman, the one business owner in your video who said the pandemic took her back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's such a powerful statement, I think, because these business owners work so incredibly hard to get to where they are. And just as we saw during the pandemic, it just devastated their businesses. All that hard work, you know, if you can imagine what that feels like, it just all went away. So these programs are so important.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us can relate. Anybody who's in business and anybody who knows somebody who has a business of their own, I think, can relate. Tammie, what's your reaction to that? How?
Well, to say we are ecstatic at the chamber. This is just yet another example of Comcast, who's been a longtime partner of ours and supported the LGBTQ plus and allied business community, stepping up to help even more business owners. We've had so many of our members benefit from this program, and I love this focus on women to help get the message out and support just exactly what Kim shared, the work that she does to really bring women of color options when it comes to beauty products. These business owners need to be lifted up, need to be supported, need to get through this pandemic, and Comcast Houston, or Comcast as a whole, is really, really making that happen with this program. It's very exciting.
Awesome. And for you, Kim, I imagine that, you know, it kind of hits close to home for you because, you know, you're a female entrepreneur that happens to, you know, be very successful. But I'm sure that there have been difficult moments, like in all entrepreneur journeys, that, you know, you have relied on the support of a community. So what are your thoughts about this announcement and the focus on women, particularly for this Comcast Rise phase?
Yeah, I think it's amazing because, you know, I think there's like this quote that talks about, you know, there's a special, you know, place in heaven for women that support other women. And then also vice versa, it's a special place somewhere else for the ones who don't. But, you know, I think, you know, so I think that, you know, what Comcast is doing is allowing, when people see that I was a part of the Comcast Rise project, then what happens is people are asking me, like, how did you get that? How did you get that commercial on television, or whatever the case might be? Or I can share, and now I can share to all the women that I know and say, hey, apply. This is your opportunity. Get your business out there. Get this exposure. Get this marketing team. Like, now then we can open it up. So for me, it's really good because I like to share resources. I like to sort of let others know about opportunities that maybe I've been able to benefit from, that I want to share with others. So this just opens up that place for me to be able to do that. And that makes everything in a way like meaningful. Because when you see another one of the women that you know that are working in business and they're working hard, you want to present an opportunity that sometimes can sometimes lessen their burden. And marketing is sometimes a burden for small business owners to be able to get out there. And so this just opens up that opportunity, and I love it.
Yeah. And I think what you shared about the support, you know, the support being so important, especially for, you know, from women to women, but even, you know, men and other groups, to everybody to support small businesses, I think is really important. But Foti, talk to me a little bit about why the focus on women entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and I think that's a perfect segue from what Kim said. I mean, it's because we saw the need. You know, even before the pandemic, we know from the National Association of Women Business Owners that 42% of businesses in the US are owned by women, with more than 1,800 new businesses that are being started every single day. The issue, though, is that these women business owners have a struggle. They struggle to access capital. They struggle to access other resources to help them succeed. So when you think about the struggles they had before the pandemic, and then you compound them with the effects of the pandemic, women-owned businesses are hit hard. They were hit very, very hard. And so it was important for us to expand this to all women business owners, not forgetting, and all business owners of color are still eligible, even to this day, to apply for this no-cost program. So we're just expanding the eligibility without forgetting about those that still are in need.
That's a great point. And, I think sometimes for small business owners, especially if you're more at the early stages of your business, you may think, well, you know what, I may not qualify, or, it may not be the right time for me to apply, or you can kind of talk yourself down from going through the application process. But, I want to kind of pivot to you, Tammie, a little bit, because I know you have some experience, and you even have some chamber members of yours who have applied before, have been selected, have benefited from the award of the initiative in various ways. So talk to us a little bit about your experience, and especially talk to those business owners that are maybe doubting whether or not this is an opportunity that's a fit for them.
Absolutely. And let me just say, there is no better news to get than your phone to ring and for one of your chamber members to say, hey, Tammie, I got a investment grant, or I got marketing technical services through Comcast Rise. I mean, that is incredibly, incredibly rewarding. And this is why this collaboration makes it so worth it, because as a chamber, we can bring these resources to our members. But these resources are only as good as these businesses taking the next step and making the application process. And it is so easy. I've talked to a number of our members and said, look, this is going to take you just a short amount of time. Go to ComcastRise.com and apply. Put in your application, and make the most of this opportunity, because if you don't, it's that saying, if you don't show up, then nothing we know is going to happen. But stepping up and submitting the application, that is the first step and the best step for you to get engaged with this program.
Absolutely. And segueing back to you, Kim, talk to us a little bit about your experience, because I know you've been a recipient and before, but tell us about how you became aware of this opportunity. What was the process like? Really walk us through what it was like for you to go through the process of applying and then being notified that you actually were selected and all of that. Talk to us about your experience.
Yeah. Tammie brought up the fact of like filling out that application. And I always say that you make 0 shots that you don't take, right? And so I think that, my attitude a lot of the times, like what Tammie just talked about, was, I just have to remind myself, shoot your shot, right? And let the people tell you no, or you miss it, or whatever the case might be, but don't be the handicap, right? Like don't handicap yourself by not doing it. And I think that that's something that we have to be reminded of, because sometimes rejection can come a lot in business. Sometimes if you're trying to sell somebody something, they reject it. You pitch something, they reject it. And sometimes rejection can sort of linger, almost like grief, where you sort of have this like, I hadn't got accepted, or whatever the case might be, or it doesn't seem like it. So I would say, just don't bring that baggage to this application, right? Give yourself that opportunity, shoot your shot, tell your story. You never know who's reading. You never know how, your particular story could touch the person who's reading it and see, the viability and the value add that your product or service brings to the market. And so definitely shoot your shot. Filling out the application, like Tammie said, it wasn't difficult. I believe I found out about it because I'm the kind of person that I like research different opportunities a lot. I'm always on the hunt for myself and for others. And so what I found out about this through, I want to say just through maybe a website or something like that I saw that Comcast, because they've been doing a really good job about getting the word out. So I found out about it and I was like, no, I've got to do this. Like, I got to take the time. And it didn't take too long to fill out. And I've got to share, because another thing, let me share with other business owners is, when you fill out these applications, even if you don't get selected, somebody else found out about your business. That's the part that we have to keep in mind. And so don't just always look at it as I'm wasting my time. You're never wasting your time, because somebody's finding out about your business. Mm-hmm. And so I filled it out, ended up getting the news that we got the media services and the commercials. And I must say, they started running last year. Mm-hmm. And just yesterday, I got the 2021 Entrepreneur of the Year award from the Greater Houston Women's Chamber
Ooh,
of Commerce.
congratulations.
And I say that because I bring that up. Thank y'all so much. I bring that up because one, women don't brag on themselves and celebrate themselves enough. Number one, so I have to throw my swag out when I got it. Number two, I say that because I believe a part of the influence that made me look like a great business owner last year and an entrepreneur last year was having my commercials on television, running right here in Houston, and that influence that brought to the community and what that level that people looked at me in, and that I think it brought those type of awards about as well. So you just never know how this all works.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really incredible, and congratulations again. That's such an honor to receive that award. But I think what you said is right. I mean, shoot your shot, because what's the alternative? Right? If you don't do it, then you don't have access to the opportunity. You don't have any chances if you don't apply. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a really, really good point that you shared there. And I want to take it back to you, Foti. So for people that are kind of getting energized now and they're thinking, okay, well maybe this is for me. Maybe I do want to shoot my shot. What should they be doing next to get ready?
So I think the number one thing to do is just go to ComcastRise.com. That website, it's just a click away. It's not difficult to access, and it has all the information you need in order to gather everything so that you can apply. So there's eligibility requirements that you need to look through. And then there's just a very short survey that you have to fill out. It doesn't take very long at all. And, I also want to encourage folks to have those conversations with your loved ones that are small business owners. Have those conversations with your friends that are small business owners, and really encourage them that it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to receive help. I think we have such a hard time sometimes asking and receiving. Don't let your pride get in the way. I know that these programs, they really make a difference in people's lives, as you heard Kim say, and as you hear Tammie say with her membership. But speak broadly about the need to support these small businesses, and go out there and visit the small businesses in your community. Buy local, buy from them, tell them that you care about them, tell them that you care about the services that they provide to the community. They need to hear that from us, I think. I think we forget that sometimes. Mm-hmm. I used to live in Austin, and they had that saying, keep Austin weird. That was about keeping Austin local, right? Mm-hmm. And I think here in Houston, born and raised here in Houston, we have that same mantra too. We have tons of small businesses in our community that are the fabric of our economy here in Houston. And so we just have to engage with them. We have to use every possible megaphone to get to them. We have to let them know that it's accessible to them. It doesn't cost them anything. It's no cost. And Kim will tell you, she went through the process. It was no cost. And she got the help that she needed in the time that she needed it.
Yeah. And that's so important, I think, to let people know that, they can apply, that this is an opportunity, that they can spread the word and encourage other people to apply. Because, I think one of the conversations that we've been having as business owners on my end, just personally, is with a lot of other business owners, is that sometimes you don't really get the information that you need at the beginning when you're starting your business. You don't know, what processes you need to follow. You don't know, exactly what type of business do you want to be? Do you want to be a DBA? Do you want to be an LLC? What are the benefits of either or? And, sometimes as business owners, even something as simple as your finances, maybe your finances are not separated in the way that they should be, or that, that makes it easier for you to manage your business on the back end. But there are a lot of resources out there in the community. And especially, I would say, through chambers. Chambers are a great resource to help you through that process and help you connect with the right people. Tammie, what would you share about that? Kind of what I'm sharing.
Yeah, Juan, you're spot on, and particularly, I'm so proud to be part of, with my other colleagues in the diverse chambers in our amazing city and the region that do so much to help diverse business owners. And it is absolutely a pleasure to be able to help our businesses not only, survive, but grow and literally thrive. And that has always been our goal since we launched 6 years ago. And with programs like Comcast Rise, to be able to bring these resources to our members, particularly business owners that are, people of color, the trans community, across the board that suffer. I mean, Foti said, shared some of those numbers and the impact, access to capital, all these things that women business owners faced. And, for other diverse businesses, and particularly when you've got that intersectionality, when they're also female-owned businesses, I mean, it's just like wham, wham, wham. So to have a program like Comcast Rise to support and help them survive, get through the pandemic, and as Kim said, to help promote her business now in such a professional way, which I saw that commercial. Amazing. It is amazing. And to be able to present that, I mean, it's just absolutely tremendous. So for us as a chamber to be able to bring these resources to our members and to collaborate with Comcast, it makes a huge difference, not only for our members, but for the community as a whole.
And Juan, if I can add to just what Tammie said, I think some of the business owners here in Houston, they struggle with making sure that people know that they are still in business, because there are so many businesses, unfortunately, that did have to shut down. So we're hearing from business owners, small business owners that are saying, hey, we need a marketing opportunity because we need to let our community know, hey, we're still here. We made it. We're still making it through the pandemic. So that, I think that's a whole nother, kind of discussion, but certainly a benefit to a program like this.
Yeah, definitely. Those are great points. And I want to take a moment to kind of say hello to a few people that are watching with us, and they're sharing their insights. And, I think, Tatum says she just finished her her media interview. And then Stephanie says the future is female. So I think, we might agree on that, right? Definitely. She also adds shop local. And then we have Eric in the audience as well, who says hello to everybody. So I think for those of you that are watching with us right now, this is a great opportunity also to, if you have questions specifically about the Comcast Rise initiative or about, Kim's experience in going through this, how this funding helped her, this is a great opportunity to ask your questions as well. Kim, I want to go back to you and as a business owner, because I think that one of the things that Foti shared was very important in terms of, asking for help, and I think grants are not necessarily, I don't really think of grants as asking for help, because I think grants are a form of funding for a lot of businesses, big and small. So it's not asking for a handout. It's an opportunity that's there for business owner. That's the intention of it. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, it's so interesting because as an entrepreneur, I want to speak to it also like entrepreneurs that have of color, entrepreneurs like myself, like entrepreneurs that from the LGBT community. It's like a lot of times you're so used to some type of like hurdle and barrier that is there. Like this is not something you made up in your head. The hurdles are there. Mm-hmm. But what happens is you're so used to having to be independent and figuring it out. And like I was raised, you gotta work 3 times as hard as anybody else. So I have to work 3 times as hard as a white man, right? That's what I was taught, right? To get to where I want to go. And so a lot of times what Foti is speaking to around that help really is talking about like even delegating, even allowing others to sort of like step in. And I think that that's just something that is just speaking to our perspective around it, because it is something that a lot of times you don't ask for help. You try to figure out how to do it yourself and all of that. And it's like when these type of opportunities come up, and one, to your point around grants are just something that a lot of businesses use and they do every day. Mm-hmm. Is that, whatever way you got to look at it, it's just the fact of knowing that this has come to help you, to lift you, to just be a business resource like everybody else gets. And you deserve to have it too. And so, that is there. And I also speak to the fact that you got to represent, so if I think, a part of the reason that makes Tammie's, what she's leading is so important is because when you show up and you represent who you are and your identity and what you're you know, what you're about, then you allow someone else to see themselves. When I show up, I have this, you know, thing that I'm always, you know, talking about in my community. And when I say my community, I'm just speaking about like the ladies who LAMIK is what we call them. It's like our evangelist customers who don't play about LAMIK, right? And they so loyal, but we talk about showing up. And a lot of the women who wear LAMIK are like leading ladies. So I know, like, I see Tatum on here, I see Mimi. But these are women who are like breaking barriers and are trailblazers. And I always talk about showing up. And so, one, to your point, we have to take advantage of these grants because we need to show up and represent. Let people see. And we always talk about the media and, you know, like the representation and also sometimes the propaganda like that's put out there about us. Like, so let's represent and show who we are. When I looked at that video, when we started this whole session, I felt empowered, right? I felt good because I was like, look at these women, look at these. I got some other word, bad ASS. You know what I mean? Women, okay.
Bosses, right?
Yes. But I'm like, you know, look at them, and that's what we have to realize, that we have to represent. So you applying is also you showing up and representing, because there's somebody else who will look at you and feel inspired.
And I think the other thing to remember as business owners is that when you have a small business, you're investing in the community and you're creating jobs. These are opportunities are there for you because you're giving back, you're paying taxes, you're contributing to the economy overall. So that's why, you know, not only you want your business to do good, but the government wants your business to do good. Everybody wants your business to succeed, because that means more opportunity, more economic benefit for the local community. And I think that's often, sometimes when you're a small business owner, you might forget about that because you're caught up in the daily grind of whatever you're doing, and it's hard to see past what's in front of you at the moment. But I think it's really important to think about that as well.
And Juan, I can just add to that, it certainly is about all of that. But as a son of an immigrant small business owner, I saw growing up the perspective that a business owner has on their family and the impact that they have on their family, seeing the struggles every single day that my dad endured, the down and then back up, that resilience, that hard work, that was everything to me growing up. And now as an adult, it still is everything to me growing up. So when we lift up these small businesses, we cannot forget that behind every business owner is a family. It's children. There's children that are behind that, and they're seeing their parents succeed. And I think that is the most powerful thing that we can do, is to empower and inspire the next generation of business owners, because they're going to remember this moment.
Definitely. We have a question here from Eric, who wants to know, how long do you have to be in business to get help through this initiative?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I guess I can take you through the eligibility. You have to be at least 51% owned and operated by someone who identifies as Black, Indigenous, person of color, or a female now, right? So that's the first qualification. The second one is you have to be independently owned and operated, so you cannot have a franchise location. You have to be registered to be able to conduct business in the US. You also have to have been operating for more than a year, so a year or more. And you also have to be located in the Comcast business or Effect TV service area footprint, which Houston is. There's a little more qualifications, and you can go to ComcastRise.com to find out all of the eligibility and qualifications. Those are the main ones. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, I think that's pretty broad, and that gives a lot of people an opportunity to apply. So even if you don't apply this time around, recommend it to somebody else that you do know, because it's a big benefit to everybody. I also want to share, Tatum says she wears LAMIK and she loves domestic violence purple lip liner, Kim Roxie.
Love it.
Eric also wants to share that he agrees with you, Kim, in terms we've been taught that we have to fund our business on our own back or through friends and family. We have to unlearn that and utilize the power we have around us. So I think that's a really important point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's Eric's one of our members. Love seeing him on.
Yes.
Which is awesome. Yes, he is.
Your members are always great about joining and sharing their thoughts.
Yes.
And then just want to share this other comment from Stephanie, who says, Rise is not a handout. It's a validation of the merits your business offers the community, merits that need to be publicized. And
that's right.
That's awesome.
100%.
All right.
100%.
So that's any thoughts on any of those comments that we've shared before we move on?
No, I mean, I think that's spot on. You know, it's so important. It's incredibly important to, and Kim knows. I mean, I think you know, when you do get that email that you've been selected, and I think Kim can probably attest to this. She did share this with me. You know, what that means to the business owner is, you know, Kim, you can share if you'd like how that feeling was.
Yeah, it's such a great feeling, because it's like, congratulations, you know, who don't like to hear good congratulations, right? But it's like, congratulations, we're gonna come on board with you around your advertisement, around your media, you know. And it's such a great feeling to know that you're not in it by yourself, to the point of what Eric just kind of commented on, is that, like, unlearning that you have to try to get it all done by yourself. And what I thought was really unique was the fact that, you know, I had meetings scheduled with my sort of like account manager, and we talked about like the areas we should run it in. And we talked about different analytics and kind of even develop some metrics that, you know, maybe we wanted to understand or hit with this, you know. It gives you that opportunity to test things out too. So being able to sort of like run a commercial in a certain area to see, you know, what analytics on your website changes, or the store traffic, the foot traffic, if you have a location, or if you know, the phone number is advertised, you know, how many, like, all of this stuff are things that we need to know in our business, but you're not, again, taking your own dime to sort of like figure all that out. So that testing, which is so hard to invest in, is testing. We need, you know, as a business owner, a lot of times you want to invest in things that you know are going to work. So this sort of partnership was just so amazing. And that sent me in such a great sort of uphill when I got that congratulations email. But to even those comments of what everyone said, and Juan, you talked about earlier about our businesses giving back, and Tatum, who's on here, who has that LAMIK product, she mentioned domestic violence, because a part of the proceeds of that particular lip liner went towards domestic violence relief for women here in our city. And so, to the point is that when we succeed, you know, local businesses keep about 67 cents of $1 in their local community. So when we succeed, the city succeeds. And so I think that, you know, let's Comcast Rise, me feeling that great feeling when I got the congratulations, but then also the greatness that I can do with it.
Wow.
And Juan, I was going to, you know, share, you know, take us back to, you know, March, April 2020, and my phone is just, you know, ringing, and people are like, I need help. We need resources. We're scared, you know, the fear, the uncertainty that our members were experiencing, and just looking for some kind of guidance, direction. And then, you know, fast forward to when I'm getting calls from our members saying, I got, you know, support from Comcast Rise. I got it, you know, investment fund. I got the marketing. I got the technical assistance. I mean, what a dramatic shift in terms of helping. And this program, it really has been a lifeline for some of our members and making a difference for them. And I just applaud Comcast for stepping up and helping business owners like Kim. And I love what Kim is saying. Look at what she's doing. And now through this domestic violence lipstick, was it lipstick, Kim?
A lip liner. It's
a lip liner. A lip liner. I need to talk to you. Through this, she's giving back to the community. I mean, how beautiful is that? How Houston is that? And, you know, now through her commercial, she can get the word out more and more about the good work she's doing, this mission-based focus that her business has. It's just, these are the beautiful stories, and truly so Houston.
This is I think this is a very inspiring conversation for me, you know, just listening, because I think the perspectives that you guys are sharing, and Kim, I just want you to like be on this broadcast, like just speaking the whole hour, because, or like however long we're on here, because I think you have such a great story, and I think the way you explain is very good, and I think people can relate to what you're saying, and a great deal. Foti, let's talk about the dollar amount that we're talking about with this initiative and this opportunity, because I think that can, as we're thinking about investing in the business and we're thinking about what are those things that we need to do, whether it's testing or whether it's something else that we've been wanting to do, this kind of opens the door to do that.
Absolutely, it does. You know, in Houston, I'm just going to run through some facts about Comcast Rise in Houston. 500 businesses that we have helped so far in the first year and counting. Right. So a part of this this program, Comcast Rise, you have the investment grant, which was something that we gave out twice last year for a total of $2 million. That was $10,000 per business, and we had 200 businesses that we awarded that to.
Say that again.
Yeah. $2 million total, $10,000 to each business who was awarded the investment fund grant, and there was 200 businesses, and that's a huge difference. That's a huge thing for us. So that's the investment fund grant. Then we have the marketing services. That's what Kim talked about, that she was awarded, where we come in, we take a look at your business, we assess the situation of your marketing needs, we put a plan together for you, with you, and then we start executing on that plan. And we give you the tools and training that you need to continue that, far long after we're gone. And then there's the technology makeovers. We do the same thing. We come in, we assess the technology systems in your small business, and then we recommend what you need. We also provide you with what you need so that you can succeed in a digital world. This is all under, the umbrella of equity, right? And that's a whole nother subject that we are tackling here, because it gives the understanding and the position that not everyone starts from the same place. So everyone requires something different. And so we have to approach our solutions in that way. We have to make sure we give people what they need to be successful in a digital world. Not necessarily equality. It's give you what you need. Everyone requires something different, right? And that's, that I think is the biggest impact that we have, even with our other programs. So nationally, now I'm going to take it to the national level with Comcast Rise, $60 million in grants, 60 million.
Wow.
We served more than 6,700 small businesses around the country. And over the next 10 years, we're going to contribute $1 billion to these programs. So we're not done yet. This is not over. This is not over.
I mean, it's hearing the numbers. I think you have to think about it for a moment, because those numbers are pretty impressive. And then you think about the individual businesses that are receiving that help, whether it's the marketing support, whether it's the $10,000, and how that really helps them. And then in turn helps their employees, helps their community. And so it's like an exponential thing that's happening. And it's really good that Comcast, as a corporate citizen, is taking this initiative to provide that help, because the need is there. Absolutely. Any thoughts from you, Kim or Tammie?
Tammie, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, in terms of, the program, and I mentioned a lifeline, but Kim touched on it earlier. It's, when people of color, when those businesses succeed, when LGBTQ plus owned businesses succeed, when women owned businesses succeed, we all succeed. And that is huge. And, the numbers, again, are large for in terms of the percentage of businesses that are owned by women in Houston and really the region. So to be able to lift up these businesses and give them access to these resources, this is a game changer. You hear those numbers, and that is something I just wish I'd been in the room when the leaders at Comcast sat down and said, how can we help? How can we make a difference? We see what's happening around us with this pandemic. We know these small businesses are struggling. How can we help? And what a brilliant program to roll out, that now Foti just talked about tangible results, helping businesses, our members, Kim's talked about it. it's remarkable, and I love hearing this this broader commitment for the long term from Comcast, which again, no surprise, Comcast has just been a tremendous partner in supporting small businesses.
Well, thanks, Tammie. We couldn't sit by and just do nothing.
That's right.
That's not who Comcast is.
That's right.
Comcast way, right?
Right. And I was going to say too, something I just thought about was something that somebody might be thinking about too, that might be listening, is, do I have everything that's needed to show up on a commercial? Like, in my business, do I have the perfect place for the scenery of the commercial? Is, all of these other things that starts to come up in our head, right? And let me speak to that, because when you think about a commercial and you're like, okay, they're going to help me. And I know earlier you talked about like how much from a dollar perspective is Comcast investing in this. And let me say, around the media perspective, is that they're utilizing all of their resources to make your commercial happen. So just know that, like, you don't have to try to figure everything out with it. Be open, and you can be honest when you get selected, because I know many of you will. But when you get selected, that whatever pictures you have, whatever photographs you have, if they if whatever help they can give you, they will as well. So just kind of keeping that in perspective too, because as women, we start to go through our perfectionism, and everything has to be perfect. And do I already have it perfect before they even get there? And unlike men sometimes, because women are just, we're just so smart and everything, we want everything ready before we get there, right? And so I just want to encourage the women to not get too, boggled down in thinking about, like, do I already have everything perfect for them to come? No, talk to them, let them see what they can do for you as well. Because I've known people who've had it and they've came out and shot their commercial and got everything together. I mean, so like, just think about that. For me, I already had like some photographs, but I was thinking, are they good enough? But once they put them on screen, they made it where they made them look like. So just keep that in mind. And so you don't get too boggled down and think, well, I'm not going to apply because I don't quite have what I need for it. Apply, because I'm sure that a part of this media package is also the resources to produce it.
I mean, it's not like they're a media company, right?
Exactly. It's like, that's let them kind of come in and do their part too. But for women, we don't think like that sometimes. Sometimes we're trying to come and bring it all together already. And so I just wanted to speak to that.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad that you
Kim, we don't want you perfect. We love your imperfections. That's great for us. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I do have a question here that I think is an important one, because I think a lot of us are probably home-based businesses at the moment, and it's from Eric. He says, how do these different programs work with home-based businesses?
So again, I think a lot of us are working from home still, even myself. Again, the eligibility is on there. It specifically states you have to be in business 1 year or more, and it cannot be a franchise location. So that's you can go back on to ComcastRise.com to get more information on the eligibility. But if you're a home-based business, I would say apply.
Awesome. And then we do have this comment. She says, this program is helping my for-profit, but as a humanitarian, the 501c3 nonprofit gets donations to help veterans, homeless, domestic violence. So we thank Comcast Rise. And I think that's a great point. And I do want to segue a little bit before we end this broadcast, because I see behind you, Kim, that you have the LAMIK Beauty, and I see the brushes back there. I've been married long enough to know that those are makeup brushes. So talk to us a little bit about your business and what the beauty line is.
Yeah, so I love it. So we do that's our Revelation Brow Duo. That's like famous for people using for their brows to fill them in. I suffered from hair loss, and so I created this brow duo to fill in my brows. And my mother passed away from metastatic breast cancer, and that's the reason why I'm so big on non-toxic makeup. And so, yes, we carry makeup brushes. We carry a full line of makeup as well. So I just got to show you real quick. Look, since you give me the opportunity, I got to show you how fabulous our products are, our makeup brushes are. But it's all available on LAMIKBeauty.com. We're also on Ulta.com. But I am just extremely grateful that we were able to, have that commercial showing. And what I love too was the fact that it also, Foti talked about this earlier about people knowing you're still in business. We noticed too that like people were reaching out who maybe didn't quite know because I used to own a makeup shop. And so I pivoted into just doing our products. And so some people who were like long before with the makeup shop and stuff were like, oh, this is what you're doing. And so like, it was great too, for people to be able to find out and bring that awareness. So just being able to do this, like how you were able just to see those brushes sitting over there, it's kind of like how some of the customers from my old makeup shop did when they saw the commercial. So yeah.
Oh, that's great. And to Tammie's point, that's so Houston. I think we want to support businesses. We want to support small businesses. So I think it's about getting creative too ourselves as individuals to say, you know what, maybe that gift that I'm thinking about sending somebody, maybe there's a small business out there that I can purchase it from. Maybe that thing, that whatever it is that I'm thinking about purchasing, maybe in bulk. Maybe I can go to LAMIK Beauty and purchase that for an event that I'm hosting, especially, if we're talking about women focus, maybe there's something that we can do together and collaborate, and to think about those opportunities there that we could partner with small businesses. But I think, the product looks amazing. People, please go to LAMIKBeauty.com.
Yes.
Make a purchase, support small business. And I think that, we'll definitely, on Comcast Rise, there's also a list of other small businesses that are participating that have been awarded different things through the program. So I think that's another great resource to find businesses in our local community that we can support.
Absolutely.
So I know I want to be respectful of everybody's time, because I know you guys, we're all business owners, and, we're all working. So we want to make sure that everybody, gets back to their schedules. But before we do that, I do want to go around and just kind of gather everybody's final thoughts about our conversation and this opportunity. And I'll leave the floor open. Whoever wants to start, please feel free to.
Well, I'll just say a huge thank you to Comcast again for all the support that they're giving to small businesses. But and I'll end with this: is that we need more Kim Roxies of the world. We need them successful. We need them to have the support. We need to make sure that we are wrapping our arms around them with resources and everything they need to lift them up. And so it's been an honor and a pleasure, Kim, to meet you. Congratulations. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional here because I just love seeing the work that you're doing. And it just, for my heartstrings, this is what we're trying to do at the Chamber, support businesses that need help and need to thrive, grow and thrive. So Comcast, Foti, thank you. And Juan, thank you for always leading on these great live streams. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Tam.
I'm sorry about that emotional there.
No, that's great. That's real. That's real.
Yeah, exactly. So real. And it touches me too. And Tammie, this won't be our last time, at all. And Juan, I hope that you invite me back again. I love what you're doing. And Foti, you already know, and let me say this, I'll end with this, which I said on my video for Comcast is, ladies, it's time to get information. It's time to do what we need to do. Because the future is ours, because we are the backbone of a lot. And I think that when I think about my future and my 6-year-old daughter, who has watched me navigate in this pandemic, running my business where I took over her bedroom. My daughter, the room I'm in right now, used to be my daughter's bedroom, and hence the pink and white stripe. And when 2020 happened, Tammie, and you were talking about like the business owners calling in March, that's the month I launched LAMIK, the product line. And I had to take over her room and I had to turn it into my studio, my place to go live and talk about my business and to sell my products from her bedroom. And I used to, almost like apologize to her. And now I stand in power to her to show her what we could do when we allow ourselves to go with the wind that is taking us. And I think that with this Comcast Rise, and you think about rising, you think about wind, you think about something lifting you up, something that will give you wings to fly. And I believe that you should go to ComcastRise.com so you can fly, ladies.
I love that, Kim. I love that. I love that. And I've known you for just a little while, but it seems like with every encounter that I have with you, I learn something new, and you inspire me. So I want to thank you for sharing your gift with the world. Thank you, Tammie, for your support. We love you, and we thank you for getting the word out. And we really appreciate your membership. And all those who you support and you inspired. Juan, we appreciate it too. You helping us get the word out. The last thing I would just like to say, like Kim said, please apply. Please apply, please apply, please apply. ComcastRise.com. You can apply now, and it's good until June 17th. That's when the application ends. Don't let it get to June 16th and you apply.
Good advice.
Don't do that to yourself. Just try and apply today. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you all for those comments, Kim. I mean, I think there's no better way to end it than what you shared. And wow, kudos to your daughter for being there with you and really kind of building with you. So that's amazing. That's going to be so impactful, I think, later on in life. I want to share a final comment from our friend Misha with Comcast, who says, find out more at Comcast Rise Expands. And so she's sharing the link. So go to the comments and you'll see the link that Misha has shared. And it has some great information. But again, apply. And definitely don't think about it. As Kim said, shoot your shot. If you don't shoot your shot, you're not going to have an opportunity to win.
Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. I love it.
Shoot your shot.
I love it.
All right. Thank you all for joining, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.